Hey everybody, it's Julie here again to talk to you today about something pretty specific with intermittent fasting and low carb living. And that is those nights during the week when you feel like having a couple of adult beverages. You want to go out and have a nice beer, or you're getting together with some girlfriends and you're having a couple glasses of wine, or you're going to the beach for the day and you're wanting to know what kind of cocktails you should be mixing up. What do you choose when you go to the liquor store or the grocery store, the supermarket? What are the good choices to make and what are the not so good choices to make? So that's what we're getting into today. Can't wait to give you some details and some tips that have helped me over the last 4 years. Myself and my husband, we started this journey of intermittent fasting and low carb living about 4 years ago. I lost 30 pounds. My husband lost at least 80 pounds. And we have kept it off. And one of the reasons why we kept it off is because we shop smart when we go to the liquor store. We've done our research, and I'm here today to give you a few of those tips that we have learned and still use today. So I would say that tip number one would be do your research for first of all, think about what kind of liquor you prefer, what kind of beer you prefer, if any, what kinds of wine you prefer. So let me give wine as an example. If you looked at the shelves in your local liquor store and you look underneath the bottle, there is going to be a label that hopefully mentions the grams of sugar per liter. You're going to want, and I choose this all the time, you're going to want your wines to be around 2 to 3 grams of sugar per liter. That's nice and low carb. Sugar is carbs, right? So if you were to look around the liquor store to other bottles of wine, maybe your favorites right now, they might be like 15 grams of sugar per liter. Those are really, really high in carbs. Some are even more than that. So I used to love a Pinot Grigio, and oh my gosh, once we started doing IF and low carb, I was horrified that it was like 18 grams per liter of sugar. So no, it doesn't mean that you're drinking a liter of wine, but it's just a good measure to go by. Once again, you want to have like a 2 to 3, or even 4 is okay. I mean, if you're just having one glass of wine, that's not a big deal. So you're not going to feel that on your waistline the next day, right? Or the next month, I should say. As far as beer goes, did you know that Miller Lite versus Blue Moon, for example, huge, huge difference. Just let me give you a comparison here. So for Miller Lite, a 12-ounce can of Miller Lite is about 96 calories and 3 grams of carbs versus Blue Moon or Belgian Moon, which is 168 calories for a 12-ounce can, and it's 14 grams of carbs. So just figure yourself drinking a couple or 3 of those in an evening. Would you rather have 3 grams of carbs per beer or 14 per beer, right? The math adds up pretty fast. Let's talk about liquor. So vodka, tequila, rum, which I prefer because it is very low carb, but you're not taking shots. You're going to be mixing it with something, right? So do you realize how much sugar is in some of these mixers? Here's an example. 6 ounces of Coke. Now 6 ounces is half a can. So when I mix a drink, it's usually half a can of whatever I'm wanting to mix my rum with, for example. It's going to be half a can's worth. So for half a can of Coke, it's 70 calories and 20 grams of carbs. So you have 2 drinks and you're having 40 grams of carbs right off the bat. It doesn't take long. 6 ounces of orange juice. Let's say you have a screwdriver, vodka orange juice. 6 ounces is 85 calories and 20 grams of carbs. So to avoid all of that, I love bubbly. So bubbly is a sparkling water, and coconut pineapple is my favorite with rum. I also love raspberry with vodka. So there's like 0 calories, there's 0 artificial sweeteners. It's just a sparkling water. I don't know still to this day how they get the flavors in there. Probably some chemicals, but hey, what are you gonna do? I would rather have some nice sparkling water instead of cans of Coke if I'm gonna have some nice alcoholic beverages. Thank you very much. So that really keeps the carbs down. And when you're counting your carbs, you don't want them sneaking in when you're going out for a night of some beverages. You want to keep the carbs low wherever you can, right? So we've talked about wine, we've talked about beer, we've talked about mixers with liquor. Now, of course, I'm not promoting an alcoholic lifestyle here, but I know that life is complicated and you can't go hide in a closet somewhere for the rest of your life. You need to be able to go out and be social. And unfortunately, being social means going out for drinks with friends sometimes if you choose to drink alcohol. So if you do choose alcohol, you need to have some shortcuts that help you win. You don't want to be all bloated the next day. You want to feel like you are still in the game of being on track, staying motivated, getting some frameworks that work for you. And so hopefully these tips have helped. They've helped my husband and I. My husband used to drink craft beer all the time. Massive amounts of calories and carbs in those craft beers. Yes, they are delicious. And yes, you can enjoy one once in a while, but you certainly can't make it your habit, and you can't make it your go-to. You have to be able to do your research and look at like what you like, first of all, what you can manage, and what doesn't make the scale move, in a nutshell. What's going to not make the scale creep up? If you go out for a few weekends with friends and suddenly you feel like you've gained a few pounds, well, you got to take stock of that. You have to think, oh, what was I eating? What was I drinking that is making me feel like this? And you have to learn to make those changes. So hopefully these tips have helped you make better choices at the liquor store, the supermarket, when it comes to drinking alcoholic beverages. And let me know in the comments what helps you out. And like and subscribe. And thank you very much again. We will see you in the next one.